Good morning. How are you? Tanja here, Peak Performance Specialist for real estate and property professionals. It is Monday, the 4th of February. I hope you are well. It is wonderful to have you here for another episode of Mindset Mastery Monday. Thanks for tuning in on Instagram and thanks for tuning in to you on Facebook. Hope you had a beautiful weekend. Good morning, Jackie. First cab off the rank. Special week for you. It's your birthday week. I sent you an email this morning. Check it out. I'm coming your way. So I thought we could catch up for your birthday. Sonia, Rod, look at this. We've got a lovely connection. I am Kylie Charlton. Yes, you are. Good morning. So feeling grateful to be here. I've done my morning ritual. I've meditated. I've done my affirmations. I've done my visualization. I've exercised. I've read Seat of the Soul, which is Oprah Winfrey's favorite book. I thought if it's good for Oprah, it's good for me. And I have done my gratitude journal. It's what I do every day. Tell me, first of all, do you have a morning routine? Part of setting your mind for a great day and a great week is having a morning routine. So let me know, do you have a morning routine? Give me a thumbs up if you do. Hey, Melissa, morning, Sonia. Hi, Stephen. We've got double Bailey action. Steve Branson and Fatima have hit the station. Awesome. So thanks for tuning in. G'day. Do you have a morning routine? Give me a thumbs up. If you don't, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. The way you start the day really influences how you spend your day. It's such a beautiful foundation to, really set the scene. If you haven't heard me talk about it before, I practice Savers, which is inspired by Hal Elrod's book, The Miracle Morning, which a beautiful client sent to me. So it's a great practice. Okay, let's get straight into it. So this Mindset Mastery Monday is inspired by a coaching session I had with a new client last week. Great leader. Lots of thumbs up by Sonia. Good on you. And he was really feeling kind of overwhelmed. And I want you to listen for you. Does this relate to you? Do you ever hear yourself kind of not necessarily complaining, but feeling like you don't have enough time? Let me know with a thumbs up. Or you find it hard to say no to people, or you overcommit. Do you ever experience yourself doing that? Let me know with a thumbs up. And do you find yourself sometimes being burdened by just too much to do? Well, this could be a function of you being a people pleaser. And we've all heard the term before. It doesn't necessarily sound positive. And in actual fact, it isn't a positive trait. Even though we think we're doing good deeds, when it's not coming from an empowered or authentic place, yeah, nice thumbs up, it actually puts us in a very disempowered place. So let's look first of all at why we do it. We do it because we love to connect. And if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the third basic need is connection and belonging. We human beings love to connect with each other. We love to contribute to each other. But when you go behind the scenes of that, when we do it in a disempowered orientation, like people pleasing, meaning often saying yes and overcommitting and doing things when you really mean no, when you know you don't have time, when you know that means it's going to dilute your potency and power to complete the tasks and responsibilities you already have. When we do that, there's really a shadow reason that's going on. And that is we are seeking validation. We are looking to be validated by others. So we overcompensate by making ourselves available. So I'm going to share with, does that make sense to you, by the way? Can you hear what I'm saying? Let me know with a smiley face or a thumbs up. Also, I'd love to know if you're watching this live, please type in live. And if you're watching the replay or the record of this, type in replay and record. That just gives me a sense of when you're connecting, which is super helpful. All right, let me share with you 10 signs that you are a people pleaser. If you're sitting at your desk with a cup of something warm, then please write these down. And I invite you to reflect on them as you write them down and see which one, two, or three, or maybe all of them. Thanks, Sonia, watching live. Yes, you are, I can see you. G'day, Kate. Lovely to have you here as always. Happy Monday, live. Yes. Which one of these, two or three, or maybe all 10 do you do? And then we're going to talk about how can you flip it? How can you still achieve connection with the people that you know and love? How can you still have belonging and, great relationships, but not at the cost of your health, your well-being, your time, and the completion of your own tasks? Does this sound like an interesting conversation to have? Let me know with a thumbs up or a smiley face. So here we go. Now, if you're driving, just listen to which one, two, or three, or maybe all you might be doing. And then I'll talk about how you can flip them. Morning, Lou. Great to have you here. All right, let's get into it. So I've got my little cheat sheet here. So if you see me, because it's quite a bit of content, if you see me looking down, I'm still with you. 10 signs that you could possibly be a people pleaser and how to break the habit. Oh, look, lots of great love there on Facebook. Number 1, you pretend to agree with everyone. You'll be in work or social situations and there'll be a myriad of opinions, and you'll be kind of like, you know, those dogs toys that you have at the back of the car where the head just bobs up and down. You're kind of just doing that and just agreeing with everyone. You'd rather agree than have your own opinion because you're concerned that your opinion will be different to others, and you're concerned about being different to others because that could instantly cause a disconnection. And so it doesn't really feel safe to have your own point of view. So that's a sign that you could be a people pleaser. People pleasing sign number 2, you feel responsible for how others feel. Now, it's good to be aware of the impact that you have on others, but you, and let me say this really clearly, you are not responsible for how other people feel. You're not responsible for their happiness. You're not responsible for their fulfillment. You're not responsible for their joy. Do you hear me? Have you ever felt like it's your fault or it's your responsibility, and when everything's okay and they're okay, then you can be okay? It's disempowering for you and for them. So you can be mindful of how you impact them, but you're not responsible for their happiness. That is their responsibility. Number 3, this one is amazing because I see this a lot. You apologize often, and for things that weren't even your fault, that weren't even your doing. This, I find, generally speaking, women tend to do this more than men. And it's funny, women tend to do it if they just stand in front of someone, or, you know, you bump into someone, or you're kind of trying to go through the same door. Every time that you say sorry for something that's happened that's not really a big deal, you could say, oh, you know, excuse me. You could say something else. But every time you say sorry, consider that you're training your subconscious brain, good morning, Amal, that you're actually sorry for your existence. So consider what word you could replace sorry with. If you're in a shopping center and you're doing a clash of the trolleys, then just go, oh, thanks, thank you, when you move out. Or excuse me, but be mindful of how many sorries you're saying in the day. Do not be sorry for your existence. Number 4, you feel burdened by the things that you have to do. People pleasers often overcommit. Say, yeah, I'll do that, I'll do that. Your schedule is really full of activities for other people, or you schedule activities of what you think other people want you to do. Have you ever done that? Let me know. Write me a comment. Have you ever overcommitted? Have you ever said, I'll do that, even though you know your in-tray is full or your calendar is full, and you know that if you take anything more on, it could put your other responsibilities at risk of not being completed to the level that you'd like it to be. Number 5, sign that you are a people pleaser. This is probably the biggest one. You can't say no. Good morning. Good morning, Amal. You can't say no. Your default is yes, and this is definitely a sign that you are seeking validation because you're afraid to disappoint others. This was what was going on for my client that I coached last week. He actually said, I really find it hard to say no. Have you ever found it hard to say no? Have you ever really wanted to say, you know, thanks for asking, but I really can't take that on? And here was the coaching that I gave my client. It's okay. Well, first of all, you can say, hey, thanks for asking. I appreciate you reached out. I'd love to be able to say yes, but if I say yes to that, I'm really going to put my existing commitments at risk, and I just can't do that. So, but rather than just kind of cut them off, think about, do you have another resource? Do you have another contact? Do you have somebody else? G'day, Francesca, that you could recommend, you know, that they contact, or a podcast they listen to. You don't have to say yes all the time, but saying no, thank you for asking, I'm pretty committed, but let me give some thought to if I know someone. And if you don't even have time to give thought to a resource, just say, I really wish you well. And it will be unfamiliar and uncomfortable at times. But I promise you, when you practice it, it's really empowering, because here's what happens. When you say yes, when you really mean no, and you overcommit, a lot of the time we don't follow through, and then we have to lie, and then we make up, we don't have to lie, but many choose to lie, and then we make up reasons why we couldn't do it. You feel sick. So you're actually not honoring your truth. You're not in your power. Then you let people down. Then you feel guilty, and it's this massive, messy swirl, rather than you just standing in your power and saying, thank you for asking. I really appreciate it. I'd love to be able to help, but I'm committed at this time. Let me think about a resource, or I really don't have anything. I hope it goes well. Let me know how you go. Clean and powerful. I want to know, do you reckon if you practice that, that would make a difference? Type yes or no. Let me know either way. Number 6, another sign that you are people pleasing. You feel uncomfortable with when people are upset or angry with you. So you don't want to rock the boat. You don't want to have an opinion. Francesca's like, great advice and very relevant. Good. I hope it is. It's a big one when we're really, really time poor. Sonia, this is great. I actually have a friend who is exactly like this. Sonia, share it with her. Okay. This is really important stuff. Hey, EK CAD, thanks for joining. Just waving goodbye to Amber. Bye, Amber. After school. If you're uncomfortable when people are upset or angry with you, consider that you won't speak your truth. You'll swallow your truth. And if I know one way to create a really disempowered orientation with yourself, it's to swallow your truth. It's to not have opinion. It's to take on other people's frustration and anger with you, which really is disempowering. And when you do that, you really compromise your values. One of my favorite quotes is, if you don't know where to stand, you'll fall for anything. And people pleasers don't know where to stand. They don't stand in their own power. Jackie's like, yes, you do that. Jackie, this is going to be a great one for you, because you're about to go kaboom in your business, as you already are. Really great results. These guys are smashing it. Bailey Real Estate going crazy over there in South Australia. Number 7. You become a chameleon. Now, they're all interwoven. You'll hear a couple of key themes, but if you're a people pleaser, you will kind of adapt to your environment and become like everybody else. You'll adopt their opinions, you'll adopt their beliefs, you'll adopt their philosophies. You won't honor your truth, like I said before. And like number 1, you'll just tend to agree with everyone. Now, you become really bland, and people don't know who you are. And guess what? You won't know who you are if you don't stand in your opinion. It's really great to have a positive state of mind, an open mind where everyone can have a point of view, and so can you. Okay, now, wow, that's me. That's happening to me. Yeah, I understand. Excuse me. My Staffy Chelsea is trying to get out of my office. One sec. There you go. Hi, darling. It's all happening. Kids going to school, husband arriving from night shift, dog wanting to leave the office. So, and then you go home and you're wondering why you didn't have a good time or you didn't feel connected. And here's the thing, you rip people off from really getting to know who you are. I recommend the book Not Nice. Oh, good. Okay. Thanks, Francesca. Recommend the book Not Nice, This Subject by Dr. Aziz. There you go. For our friends for you on Facebook, if you know that this is a paradigm you've been in for a long time and you'd like some more time, read the book recommended by Francesca Dion. Thank you, Francesca. That's lovely. Morning, Georgia. Not Nice. I haven't read it, so it sounds like a good one to check out. Number 8. Oh, this is a big one, and this is here for a lot of us, actually. Number 8 is you need praise to feel good. So you only feel good when you're getting compliments and praise. Thanks, Francesca. This is a really big sign that you're a people pleaser. It means that your validation exists by the validation of others. Your existence only matters when people are commenting or complimenting you. Well, that's going to be a hard slog. What's interesting, though, is according to the 5 love languages, or the 5 languages of appreciation, most of us, and I do a lot of work around this, really our number 1 language of appreciation is words of affirmation. So what makes us feel loved, valued, and appreciated is when people tell us something that we've done nice, comment on us, or something that we've done. It makes us feel seen, heard, loved, and appreciated. Absolutely absolutely, that's so me. How do I fix it? I'm going to get to it. Just you wait. So you got to be your own champion. It's really partly why I do Savers, my morning practice, is because I am responsible for my own happiness. I'm responsible for my own empowerment, and I'm not going to be great to others if my cup is not full. I take responsibility for filling my own cup, for loving myself up, for being my own cheerleader, and being selfish. Now, selfish is different to self-absorbed. I'm not interested in being self-absorbed. I'm interested in being of service, but you cannot, and I cannot, be of service to anybody if we aren't full. Otherwise, we overcompensate and we are spent. Have you ever, like I used to in the past, give and give and give and give and give, and, you know, kind of say you don't want anything back, and when it doesn't come back, then you get resentful and then you get snapdragony and shitty? We've all done it. So don't rely on others to feel good. That is your responsibility. Success is an inside job. It is nice when others say, you look great, well done on that project, awesome result, high five on that listing or that property, whatever it is, but don't rely on it, because you're going to be chasing validation for the rest of your life and feel completely empty inside. Number 9. Another really big one that'll keep you disempowered is you go to great lengths to avoid conflict. Now, I'm not saying go out there and actively, you know, get frustrated and have a go at people, but don't be afraid to have your own opinion. You know, don't suppress your truth, because every time you do, you misalign from your goals and your values. Most of us avoid conflict because our definition of conflict is, you know, fisticuffs. There's going to be a fight. There's a winner and a loser. My definition of conflict is awesome. There's an opportunity for clarity. So it's okay to have your own opinion. And the best way to do it is when someone else has a different opinion, you can go, yeah, I can appreciate that, or I can see where you're coming from. And from my perspective, or from my experience, it's really been this way for me. So don't just come in with the battle of your opinion, because that's when the conflict erupts. Understand somebody else has a different point of view, so do you, and there's room for both. Both of you are right. Too many people on this planet are addicted to being right, and in my humble opinion, that's why we have wars and countries that are killing each other, and, you know, trying to take land off each other because of this thing about being right. We don't take it with us when we die, so stop fighting about it and just be grateful for what we have. Is my humble opinion. G'day, Adam. Great to have you here as well. Is what I'm saying making sense to you? Can you please give me a thumbs up? Have you heard something for yourself already? Give me a smiley face or a thumbs up so I know this is striking a chord. Please let me know. All right, so number 10, drum roll please. You don't admit when your feelings are hurt. So something might happen with someone, could be big or little, and you just swallow it. You just swallow it. You don't say anything. You don't admit when your feelings are hurt and you go, that's okay. Well, let me tell you, every time you say that's okay or that's fine, you are training your subconscious brain to stay disempowered. Your subconscious brain doesn't know itself as a person with their own opinion. That means you don't know where you stand. That means you'll be easily influenced, and that means you'll spend your life feeling disempowered. And like, you know, you have no say. Then you'll want to try and grow and expand and go for that job or stand up in that relationship or stop that relationship, and you will find it hard because you haven't developed a backbone of truth. Please do yourself a favor and stop doing these. So I had a question before. This is so me, or it's so my friend. What do I do? Let's quickly share the top 10 ones again, and I'll give you some tips on what to do. Would that be helpful? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a smiley face on Insta, on Facebook, so I know this is of value. And listen, if you're listening to this and you know someone that's going to dig it, tag them and share it. This is free content to help you live a great life. I want to serve as many people as possible. The best way you can help me fulfill my life goal of being an impact is to share it and tag people. So number one, if you pretend to agree with everybody, here's what I'd like you to do. Have an understanding that everyone is entitled to their opinion, and know that it's safe to have an opinion of your own. In fact, don't underestimate your power of influence. You might have had an experience that nobody else has had, and when you share it, you could really open the perception of others. But don't even worry about influencing others. Just start to practice going, oh, okay, I can be generous. I can see that that's your point of view. I understand. And, from my perspective, I see it this way. It's okay to have different points of view. Number 2, if you feel responsible for how others feel, I just want you to tell yourself, I'm not responsible for how others feel. I'm responsible for the impact I have on others, but I'm not responsible for their happiness, fulfillment, joy, and satisfaction of life. So it is about separating yourself, and you can love them. And sometimes with some people who are energy suckers, do you have any of those in your life? Let me know with a thumbs up. If you're surrounding yourself with energy suckers or people that are just negative and you feel responsible, guess what? It's going to siphon your life source. So those people you're going to need to love from afar. Number 3, if you apologize often, here's the tip: just cut it out. Just stop doing it. I want you to have your antenna up today and just notice when you're driving, when you're walking around, when you're in the office, when you're in the supermarket, when you're in a crowd, when you're going in and out of a cafe. Notice when you say sorry, and just replace it with thank you, excuse me, have a great day. Do not be sorry for your own existence. Number 4, you feel burdened by the things you have to do. Here's the biggest one. When you feel burdened, I want you to look at your to-do list as you write your intentions for the day or the tasks or projects you've got on, and ask, did I say yes to this? Now, don't just go, I'm not doing it. I watched Mindset Mastery Monday, I don't have to do it. No, if you've given your word to something, commit and have integrity. But from this day on, when somebody asks you to do something, please honor your truth. You don't have to answer straight away. You can say, can you give me a minute to think about that if you're not certain? One of the practices I've adopted is I don't act unless I'm clear, meaning I take the time to feel into it and I feel my truth about the commitment. G'day, Adrian, thanks for joining. So I tune into, how do I feel about this? How does this make me feel? And then practice saying, if someone asks you to do something, say, if it's your truth not to do or you don't have time, thank you for asking. I really appreciate it. I'd love to be able to help you. If that's true for you, say that. If it's not, don't say that. And then say, I'm sorry I can't commit to that, because if I do, it means that I will be overcommitted on the things I've already given my word to, and I won't deliver great work. Let me think about someone, a resource I have, or here's someone I know that might be able to help you, or here's a podcast I listened to, or, I wish you well, let me know how it goes. It will feel strange initially because your automatic response will be to say yes, okay? But trust me on this. It's a big one. It's a big one for mums as well. If you're a mum and you're in business, even if you're not in business, practice it. It will feel foreign and unfamiliar, but please practice it. This also connects with number 5. You can't say no. So just repeat what I said before. Do what I said before. Number 6, you feel uncomfortable when others are angry or upset with you. That's going to be a practice of just going, okay, I get that's your opinion. There's something quite powerful about not taking on people's views. Do you ever take on the opinion of others? Give me a thumbs up if you ever do that. Do you take on the opinion of others? You don't have to. If someone has an opinion about you, it could be, a gift that they share that you don't have to take. You do not have to take the gifts of others. You just say thank you, and when the words come, you just let them drop on the floor. They don't have to, go all over you, and then you don't have to walk around wearing them like that's your view of yourself. What other people think of you is none of your business. You don't have to be an ass about it, but you can actually just be in your center. Thank you, but that is their perception of you. In fact, if I went a little deeper, it is their perception of themselves, because you only see who you are. And if people are seeing parts of you, they're really looking in the mirror and not being responsible for their shadow. But that's a whole other Mindset Mastery Monday session. Okay, number 7, you become a chameleon. Well, all you need to do is stand in your truth and know, for anyone to really know you, for anyone to really connect with you, you need to be yourself. If you feel disconnected from yourself, Have you ever felt that? Have you ever felt disconnected from yourself, even when you're by yourself or when you're in with others? Consider it's because you've been a chameleon in your life and you haven't honored your word, you haven't honored your points of view, you haven't honored your truth. It's okay to be you. There's heaps of room for all of us, because guess what? Everybody else is doing this too. Do you know we are obsessed by what other people think of us? And guess what? We're all walking around at networking events at work, obsessing about what other people think of us. And they're obsessing about what we think of them. We're really not thinking of them because we're thinking about what they think of me. It's insane. So just stop it. Just be you and be okay. Give yourself one practice today where you can have an opinion and be okay if others don't agree with you. Number 8, you need praise to feel good. I'm saying become your own cheerleader. Just let go of all expectation for other people to make you feel validated with your new hairdo, with the 5 kilos you've lost, with the project that you've done. You got to look yourself in the eye every morning and say, you are awesome. And if you haven't done that today, then go and do it. I'm going to remind you, you're awesome, but that is your responsibility, because responsibility means the ability to respond. And when you respond positively to yourself, you build this backbone, not of arrogance, but of just a knowing of who you are. And that's one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. So after this video or podcast, whatever you're listening to, give yourself a good rap. Even if it's at the traffic lights, don't give a rat about what other people think of you. You ask my kids, I don't care what people think of me. I'm going to float people's boats and I'm going to repel others, and that's okay. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and neither of you, but be your own cup of tea and take a sip for yourself today and make yourself feel great, because it makes a difference. Listen, especially if you're in real estate, if you're not loving yourself up in the nicest way, and if you're not valuing yourself, how are you going to walk into a home and be able to authentically articulate the highest value of someone's biggest asset? It starts here within you. Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm talking about? Give me a thumbs up or a smiley face if you do. Number 9, if you go to great lengths to avoid conflict, then see conflict is just an opportunity for clarity. Seek to understand another person's perspective. You can ask them, So first of all, if there's conflict, don't avoid it and go, oh my God, this is torture. Go, awesome. This is an opportunity for clarity, which builds connection and understanding. I'm going to be curious. Help me understand why you see it that way. Oh, I understand you. Okay, well, so from my perspective, it's this way. Okay, can we agree to disagree? It's healthy, okay? It's really healthy. Good morning, Marina. Lovely to have you here traveling around and enjoying the countryside yesterday on your Instagram. And the final one is you don't admit your feelings to people. So if you're not admitting your feelings, you are doing yourself a disservice. And disease really comes from dis-ease. I'm a big believer that when you swallow your truth, when you swallow your what would be honoring of you. Lots of thumbs and hearts happening on Facebook right now. Thanks for your interaction, guys. It really means a lot. I hope this is of service. Hey, who's that? Akshay. What a cool name. Simon, you're here too, and Ronnie. Let me know as well, live or replay. Where are you watching this? Type it in. Watching live or watching the record. If you avoid admitting when your feelings are hurt, my invitation for you is be vulnerable. Consider that if greatness is what you seek, and I truly believe that all of us seek to experience our greatness on planet Earth and really know ourselves as creative beings, consider that to really experience the riches of your own personal greatness, you've got to open the door of courage. Now, if courage is the door, then vulnerability is the doorknob. You need to be vulnerable and share yourself. And sometimes it looks like this. This is really uncomfortable for me to say, but when that happened, I felt this. So you want to make sure when you practice giving people feedback about your feelings, here's what not to do. You make me feel like this, because your feelings are your responsibility. But you can say, when you did that or when you said that, I felt like this. And that's you taking responsibility for your own feelings. If you're willing to be vulnerable with your partner, with your colleagues, with your clients, and drop the ego and not be scared of conflict, but see it as an opportunity for clarity. If you're willing to be vulnerable and courageous, you get to this level of intimacy, which is into me, I see, which gives you access to really intimately see others. When our egos are out of it, and people can feel when you're coming from, it's just a truly miraculous thing that brings us together. So they're the 10 signs that you could be a people pleaser. Please understand it's normal. It's actually linked to one of our major psychological needs of belonging and connection, according to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It is a fundamental act of seeking validation. It is unhealthy. It will make you overwhelmed. It will make you not truly know yourself or stand up for yourself. So I'd love to know. I'm going to quickly read them back. Type in, if you can, if you're not driving, which one you're going to practice today. You're going to stop pretending to agree with people and have your own opinion. You're going to give up being responsible for what others feel about you or life. You're going to stop apologizing for who you are in your existence. You're not going to be burdened by the things you have to do because you're not going to commit. You're going to learn to be uncomfortable saying no instead of saying yes and then figuring it out later and then not doing it or lying about why you can't. You're going to just feel comfortable with what anyone says about you because what other people think of you is none of your business. It's a practice, but I did ask you, which one are you going to practice? You're not going to be a chameleon. You're going to stand in a group or in a crowd, and you're going to stand in your own truth, and you're going to honor your own points of view, and you're going to honor your own opinion. And you're going to praise yourself. You're not going to rely on others and be an empty chalice until someone gives you a compliment. Or you're not going to avoid conflict. You're going to be curious. You're going to seek to understand. And you're going to say, you know, I hear that that's your perspective. And from where I sit and from my experience, this has been my, point of view. Speak your truth. Thank you, Francesca. Absolutely. And you're going to admit when your feelings have been hurt, but you're going to do it in a conscious way and say, you know, when you said that, I made it mean this, or I felt that, and I'm committed to being connected with you, but I just got to express how I feel because, I feel a bit wobbly or whatever at the moment. So what's that useful? Did you get something for yourself today? If you want more time, if you want more personal empowerment, if you want more connection, please stop being a people pleaser. Validate yourself. Practice 1, 2, 3, 4, all 10 of those. If you want, actually, I'll type this one up and just do a little sheet. Would that be helpful? If you had a downloadable PDF, give me a thumbs up. If you want that, we'll create that and we'll send it out with our email. Let me know, our friends here on Instagram. If you want a resource that you can even share with your friends, just on the sly. If you also would love a record of these, yes, please, good. It's all yours. We'll get this done this afternoon. If you would love recordings of these in your inbox so you can just listen to them again, please write a comment or DM me your email and we'll add you to our tribe and you'll get these resources to you. Please also remember that on Fridays, I now do Rapid Fire Friday, same time, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and live on Insta. And that's really a reflection of all the coaching insights that I've got from my one-on-one clients for the week, because I know many of you don't have the resources for a one-on-one coach, but you're going through the same thing. And I just do rapid fire tips of what I'm learning from my clients. And every day I'm just going to do a daily dose. I'll just jump on Facebook Live and just share something that's come out of a coaching session. But please know, these sessions are all for you. So if you have a question, concern, challenge, or problem that you're facing either personally or professionally, send me a comment, send me a DM. It's completely confidential. I'll never say your name, but I'll help. If I don't have the answer, I'll research it. Next Monday Mindset Mastery session, I'm going to give you tips on really how to handle stressful situations. This was a question that came through this week. So thank you to the beautiful person that asked me, how do I handle stressful situations where I'm feeling overwhelmed and kind of on the verge of anxiety or a panic attack? Would that be useful for you? Give me a thumbs up and let me know. Love your comments. Please write to me on which tip or sign you felt most useful. Tag someone today that you know will benefit this. Would love a part 2 on today's session. Oh, okay. Exactly what would you love? Tell me what hell yes. So tell me, what would you love, and I'll happily give it to you. I love you. Have an amazing day. Have a beautiful week. Set your intentions. Let me know how you go practicing these flip side of being a people pleaser. Honor yourself first. Like they say in an aeroplane, give yourself the oxygen before you give it to others. You know, be a full tank before you share yourself with others. That's the true level of responsibility. Awesome engagement on Facebook. Thank you for joining us here as well, and for your comments on Instagram. It means a lot to me. I'm here for you. Have a beautiful day. Mwah. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now. Have a great day.